What's happening? Big Shay reporting for duty, welcoming you back to another episode of the Yellow Cafe podcast. And this morning, we just want to speak on the topic of just identities, our identities being changed, our roles being changed. And I just want to go to Brother G. Craig Lewis out of Fort Worth, Texas, and to just get into this message a little bit.
I know I'm preaching and y'all know I'm telling the truth. Yeah, so the Bible tells us, lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, looking at what you want and what others have and comparing what you have.
This is the biggest trick and one of the most dangerous things about social media today. The lust of the eyes are being flirted with and tempted more than any other time in the world. Why? Because before, when you used to be able to just sit in your little part of town, in your little corner of the neighborhood, your little neck of the woods, you used to be able to just live your life and compare yourself to those around you. Now you have to compare yourself to those in another state, in another city, in another country. I remember right before Katrina, a couple partners of mine had some nice little cars, had some nice little rims on and everything else. And after Katrina, everyone got dispersed and had to shoot to different parts of town and stuff like that. So you couldn't tell me that my partners wasn't the coolest dudes alive. They had the two matching Camaro Z-Rock. What is Z-Rock? Z-Rock? I-Rock? See, I'm not even a car person. What's the Camaro? I-Rock. I think it's an I-Rock. Z28. I think that's two different cars. An I-Rock and a Z28. I think that might be two different cars. If it isn't, you know. But anybody who knows, they know my two partners had them Camaros, Jay and Bug. They say they go to Atlanta though, and they go to seeing all kind of dudes with all kind of stuff out there. You see, as long as all they knew was Woodmill, Harvey, the West Bank, or whatever it was, you could think that you were the man. But they got outside their comfort zone, went to another city and started seeing some other little dudes who was doing even more than them. So they came back to New Orleans like, man, we got to step our game up. Well, now that's the reality for everyone, because automatically you get online and you see somebody in Memphis, in California, in New York, wherever, Texas, wherever. And they're doing things that you thought you were doing already. They're doing it 10 times bigger and better. So now you're not satisfied. Now you're not satisfied with what you have. Now you need more. That's how it goes. That's just a small, minor example of it. But that's the game and the reality that we're in now.
To what others have. And then the pride of life, man, once pride is in there and you think you're something that you're not, you're hard to reach.
I can't tell you how many people are falling victim to this because social media, you are getting approval and status from other people who are looking for approval and status. But so many times we get confused that the men, and when I say men, I'm talking about mankind, that the men, that the humans we are pleasing, we think that they will give us favor or give us status in heaven. And how many of you know that most folks, when you're living for God righteously, you're not in the majority, you're in the minority? Because it says the path is narrow and few are chosen. So you're not going to be in the crowd most times where you're so popular, where everyone is agreeing with you. That's most times a sign that you're not in the right crowd. When you have a great massive following behind you, because the world follows things like that. But then once the world makes you think that you're somebody, it's hard for someone with the word to come and talk to you because you're looking at all of your successes in the world and you're saying, man, God is blessing me. You may be an OnlyFans model, but you're talking about God is blessing you. And you don't want to hear the word of God when someone is telling you to cover your body up, to dress modestly, to live like a woman ought to live, a Christian woman. You don't want to hear that. Now it's hard to get in contact with you because you don't want to hear what's being said because you're telling yourself what the truth is to you. This is my truth. This is my reality. Well, if your truth is different from the truth of God, you're in trouble.
These are the things that set in when you are conformed to the world. So the Bible says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. The devil has rigged.
See, be not conformed to this world. This is Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world. What does that mean? Don't let it change you. And many of us have allowed this world to change us. How do I know? I see people that I went to school with that are my age, 30 plus, and doing the things online that these little children are doing. I see people posting all day long, letting all of their feelings and emotions out for everybody to hear and see. I hear people talking all their nasty business, all out for everyone to see, thinking that it's cute. And it's like, bro, you knew years ago this wasn't the move. This wasn't the way to go. So now, just because you see all of these children, you're being taught by children and immature adults. Just because you see these people conducting themselves in a certain way, now you're doing these things. When you know good and well, while you about to post that video, that you know you shouldn't have that online. You know you're a mother. You know you're a wife. Why are you posting that video shaking your behind? You know good and well you have no business posting that. But because you see other people doing it, it's cool for you to do. I see these young men showing their guns online, arguing with other young men online. I'm talking about, they make me feel so dirty watching these videos. I feel as though I'm going to jail. I'm looking like, bro, you gonna get us locked up. What are you doing? And being raised in a time, in the era that I was raised, I know that they're not supposed to be online doing things like this. But you know what I see? I see people in my era and people even older than me getting online and doing the same thing these little boys are doing. I see grown men online arguing with each other, talking about pull up, talking about I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to do you this, I'm going to do you that. And I'm just looking like, bruh, you know how you were raised in the streets. You're not supposed to be doing this online. So you being conformed to the world in foolish manners. But I'm talking about, you have some good, decent people are being conformed to do what people in the world do because they don't want to feel left out. But it says, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. What does it mean to have your mind renewed? To go back to its default state, to go back to its original state. Some of us have had the original state of our mind attacked and changed from birth. Some of us have been beautiful, innocent little children that have been born into houses full of prostitution, born into houses full of dope selling, born into houses full of dope use, drug use. From the beginning, the devil has been scratching away and clawing away at your innocence. We have to go back to a reality that we may not have ever even known and go to the word and realize and see how we are supposed to be living. That's the only way. Because you can't judge it against anything that you see in the world today. You have to renew your mind that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Only the word can teach you that. You can't look at these people who claim to know God, look at their successes and then say, well, look how God is working through their life. If you read the word, you'll see that God may not even be in their life. You can't look at people and let them teach you the word. You have to go to the word and see what it says. Now look at what this brother has wrote. The devil has rigged our society to make mothers insecure. What do we mean by that? If you have a woman who you ask, what do you do, ma'am, for a living? And she tells you, I'm a wife, I'm a stay-at-home mother, I'm a wife. Some women will look at her as if that's not enough, as if like she's a failure. And they're trying to make these women feel as though they have to get up, leave the comforts of their home and go become a businesswoman, a corporate woman, an independent woman. The world is going to teach you that your role as a wife and a mother is not enough. They will try to shame you into feeling as though you are old-fashioned, you're old tradition, you're this, you're that, when really you just have good Christian common sense and you know your place. They will make you seem as though you have to chase something that they're chasing just because they don't know their identity and don't know who they are. Insecurity comes when you are not sure of your purpose and you are motivated by the opinions of others. See, the opinion of God is not sexy in this day and age. It's not appealing. It's not going to make you rich. It's not going to make you famous. It's not going to get you followers. In fact, it may do the exact opposite. It may isolate you from everyone. It may require you to live a quiet life, focused on your family and not everyone else. And many people do not want that. Why? Because they want to be a part of the system known as social media. They want to be a part of the system that can potentially produce viral videos and overnight fame and overnight success.
What's happening? Big Shay reporting for Duden. Look, I just want to say I most definitely appreciate the views and any interactions. I've had a few people reaching out to me, sending direct messages and things like that. What I need for you to do is make sure you are subscribed, like the video, leave a comment. No matter what it is, just leave a comment. If you want the word, the message to spread, to grow, if you want to contribute and be a part of the Yellow Cafe community, just do that for me so that we could get this message spread out. Make sure you like. It takes no time. It costs you nothing. Subscribe. It costs you nothing. It takes you no time. Leave a comment for me. You understand? That's all you have to do. If you're rocking with us, you can go find the plate emoji. If you're in the Yellow Cafe podcast and you came here to eat, drop a plate emoji, drop whatever. But just show some interaction so we could grow. Appreciate you. One.
So when you don't have the rules of God, the instruction of God, the teachings of God, you are eligible to have someone who does not know God tell you what they think your life should be about. Society can control you if you are insecure. Why? Because you can know deep down inside all you ever desired to be was a wife and a mother, but society will make you think that you have to be a bad chick. And you will sit there taking the years that you were supposed to be preparing for marriage, preparing to rule your own household, preparing to decorate your own house once you have that, to be the ruler of that kingdom that your husband gives you. For you to rule over the children, for you to rule over this house, for you to decide where you want the sofa, where you want the TV at, where you want the pictures on the wall, what color you want your kitchen, what color you want your bedroom. But while you can be the queen of this whole kingdom that is supposed to be your house, you out here ripping and running during your 20s, going through what some of you call your hoe phase, just not knowing you are taking men off the board who could be potential husbands for you, because they're looking at you and your actions and they're saying, I'm not wifing that. See, you thinking that you have the liberty and the freedom through your 20s to do your thing. And it may not be fair. I know it's not fair. But men can double back in their 30s and go and choose from a pool of women in their 20s to choose a wife from. Whereas you go live your 20s, live in a whole status, whole cycle, whole phase, whatever you want, pop up in your 30s thinking that someone's supposed to come and scoop you and the possible 1 or 2 children that you had, the bastard children that you had out of wedlock during your whole phase, and you think someone's supposed to scoop in, save you, and change your life. Because you allowed women out here in the world to trick you out of your position. When those women had no guidance, no plan, no destination, and they were just out in the world partying, clubbing, you allowed them to fool you and trick you out of your position to let you think you had that time to play as well. Focused on your business, focused on your career, then you're going to pop up in your 30s talking about you looking for a man to give you a child or 2, and you may already have a child or 2, or only time enough to give this man 1 child. Why would he choose you? Men, same way. We could waste our lives running around just being male whores, not having any discipline, not preparing ourselves to purchase a house, not preparing ourselves to take care of a family. And then we look up and wonder why these women don't look at you serious, or only want money from you, or only want this or that from you, because they don't see the whole direction and plan of God in you. So they might as well just get what they can and keep it moving, because you're not the total package, brother. Insecurity makes you do things to please others or impress others for approval instead of following what is right according to God's plan. You see folks doing things right now and you look at them and their age, and sometimes you just say, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? And some of you entertain the foolishness. You like it. You love it. You comment on it. Boy, you crazy. Girl, you crazy. Yeah, you just pumping them up thinking that it's funny, when they ought to be embarrassed by what they're doing. Only God's plan will satisfy who you are. But if you deviate from it, you will be insecure and feel inferior. And that's why people who do not have a real true identity through God feel inferior and do things to prove it. Like a lot of black folks who feel inferior due to slavery or due to their social status. So what do? They create religions that say the white man is evil and we are actually the chosen people. Come on, bro. That's what you're going to come up with to make yourself feel better about you? You're going to say all that and them Europeans are still going to be in charge, still be in power, still own the banks, run the banks and everything. You got to come up with something else, brother. Why not just admit that as a people, we have messed over each other, played each other, and weakened ourselves to the point to where others can now play on us? They didn't do that to us by themselves. We did it to each other, and we're still doing it. But you're going to come up with something that can make you change overnight. Overnight, if I decide that I'm the chosen people and these people are evil, well, I don't have to change. I'm just being oppressed. Yeah, but then if you go and look into your sins, look into the family lineage of sins, look into genealogy curses, now you have to admit, I've been involved in some witchcraft. I've been involved in worshiping African gods and black magic and all kind of stuff. Now you got to realize what part you played in your downfall. You feel inferior, you're going to do something to make yourself feel better. If a young woman doesn't have any identity, if she doesn't have it.
Our society to make mothers insecure. That's it. That's all he had to do. If he can make mothers, I'm talking to the mothers today. Amen. I'm talking to the not mothers yet. You better listen to this message too. But if he can make mothers insecure, then he can control you. Insecurity comes when you are.
Like, imagine that. A woman who has been chosen by a man to be trusted, to have children for this man, to be in love with this man, for a man to say, I'm dedicated to this woman, and you have a bunch of ratchets and single women that will come and try to destroy this woman's mind frame because she's at peace. How many of you understand when you are at peace and secure with who you are, other people who are not at that level yet will be intimidated by you? And since they can't reach your level, what they have to do is bring you down to theirs. So they'll attack you. That's why when you first give your life to Christ and start living genuinely for the gospel of Jesus Christ, you will have family members that come at you and tell you about how crazy you are, how wrong you are. You feel me? They're going to try to make you feel wrong about the dedication and discipline that you have that they have not yet acquired.
Not sure of your purpose, and you are motivated by the opinion of others. Society can control you if you are insecure. Because insecurity makes you do things to please others or impress others for approval instead of following what is right according to God's plan.
When our ladies are not secure and they have no identity, do you know what they're going to promote? When they don't have good qualities to promote, when they don't have good morals to promote, you know what they're going to promote? Whichever body part is the most developed. But I see these young women walking around all day long and I feel for them because I can just look at them and tell what they're going through. You'll see a young lady who may have a large chest. So what does she do? Always wear things to show off her chest. Breasts just popping out of her shirt. Young women, same thing. Young men, the same. I see men running on side of the road with their shirt off. And what's the first thing somebody's going to say? Oh, well, you just jealous because I feel as though they need to put a shirt on. No, bro, my mama's driving down the street. My sister's driving down the street. My daughters can be walking down the street. If that man was me and I was swole, and let you in on a little secret, I ain't that badly. My shape, my personal shape, me, myself, I'm not in too much of bad shape myself. You understand what I'm saying? And even me, I know when I go to the store sometime with only a wife beat on, I'm doing too much. I feel a nakedness. But just because I'm swole and got muscles, now I want to run around with my shirt off, running around in public. Brother, put your shirt on. That's not just for women. Men, put your shirt on. You know that shirt doesn't fit you. The shirt that you do have doesn't fit you. Get a bigger shirt. Pants so tight, all your testicles popping out. You understand what I'm saying? That's feminine. But when people don't have real identity, real personality, real morals, they show off what they think is important to others. So our women are going to walk around showing off their body parts, thinking that they're going to attract potential husbands. No, you're attracting prey. Because you're meat. You're just meat. So you're going to attract lions, wolves, and hyenas. You think a good man is so dumb that all he sees is a big booty and he's just going to follow it blindly and wife it? No, only suckers do that. The type of man that you're going to realize you don't want once you have him.
So an insecure person is going to do what Society is telling them to do. You don't have the security to go against society. My prayer before the Lord all my life has been, keep me secure. Because I got to preach uphill all the time against the flow of society. And if I'm insecure, I'm going to worry about what people think of me. So I won't say certain things.
And that's how preachers are kept from preaching certain messages that they ought to. They allow the people in their church to scare them or pressure them in or out of certain messages. And when you come to God, you have to be willing to war with anyone. Mother, father, brother, sister. I don't mean just to be combative, but you can't take anything for an answer besides what you know is the truth. You can't. You have to be strong enough and knowledgeable enough to know the truth. Now, they have some good stuff in this message that I want to probably continue throughout the week. So we'll just end it for now, but just take that small tidbit. Line yourself up with that. Start deciphering in your mind where you lie and where you get your information and your worth from. And until next time, y'all. 1.